Because here it is now, the brothers that was AWOL from Vietnam, they were in a certain dilemma that it was an automatic 10 years in Leavenworth at that time for desertion out of Vietnam, going AWOL from Vietnam. Myself, I knew I was scheduled, I might do 6-7 months in the stockade or something for being AWOL from Germany. So, but even at that time, I had no intention of going back to America. I had my little red book by Mao Zedong. You know, I'm telling you, I was going on to Red China, hey, our fighters and then Red China. Our fighters, back in America, So the agreement was made that those of us that were from from Germany, we were going back, take whatever time we might have to do in the stockade so that we could get back into America, because at that time, Elder Cleaver, we were talking about all-out revolution, I mean, and brother wasn't joking.
Right.
All across Germany now had what they call ammo dumps and arm rooms everywhere that was being broken into.
Right.
I mean, it was coming up. I mean, it was becoming a real problem. So, consequently, 1969, I went back to Germany, turned myself in, and because I was telling them, hey, I want to get out. When I got back, the CEO, he was saying, oh, Young, glad you're back. He said, what do you want to do, Now, they done pulled my clearance to work in weapons control, so I don't have that no more. I can't, they ain't letting me close to no weapons. I wonder why. But, so anyway, he said, Young, he said, I got just a job for you, I said, oh yeah, I said, what's that? I said, hey, he said, I'm gonna make you my driver. Now, don't tell you, being the CO driver in the Army, man, that was the top job. You ain't do nothing, you might drive here a little bit. But, I mean, that was the job that to be desired. But anyway, I told him, I said, man, I wouldn't drive your emo. I mean, seriously, the guy said, what do you want? What do you want, Young? I said, hey, DD me, dishonorably discharge me out the Army. Let me out of here. No. And at that time, latter part of 69, 70, they would not give any black soldier any more dishonorable discharges out of the Army, because the spirit, the awareness of this in America was so high at that point.
Yes.
It was a problem. Now I'll tell y'all, because then at that time, you go in the Army, when you went in the Army, when I went in the Army, they shaved your head, shaved your face and everything. Hey, it became a thing with us. We grew our froze. Yes. I mean, great. I mean, you had pride. Right. You had pride in growing your hair. You had pride in growing your beard. I mean, talking about salute. Man, wasn't no salute. I mean, all of that was finished. I mean, and believe me, the guy, so the captain, he asked me, he said, well, what do you want to do? I said, make me the day room orderly, Now, day room is, taking care of the pool table, the ping pong, the rec room, and it wasn't even open, It was set up, but it wasn't even open. They had just moved in their company. I'm just trying to make the guy put me out, okay, you the day room orderly. So, they wouldn't put me in jail, nothing. I did some bad time, but I sat right up there in the day room with my partner. We played ping pong, shot pool, till they let me out. When I got ready to ETS out of Germany, when they would let me go back to America, at a certain point, when my days were real short, I said, man, let me be real cool. I didn't want to get into nothing. And they called me into the CID's office. And the guy said, yeah, it was right around, and I got leaving Germany at the end of December. And the guy was telling me, say, I mean, just like the movies, you know, one guy sitting behind the desk, another one standing up behind you, you know, you sitting at the desk like Eliel, you know. And guy said, Young, he said, yeah, you know, you're getting ready to leave Germany. He said, but hey, we don't want no names. Just tell us a little something, you know, about where these weapons going. I said, weapons? I don't know what you're talking about, you know. He said, so the one behind me said, you know what we're talking about? He grabbed me on the shoulder and said, hey, I want you to know that people like you disappear over here every day. He said, your mama cried for about a month and be finished with it. Don't nobody care nothing about you. And I'm telling you, in reality, it's true. It's true. It's true. People disappear off the face of the planet every day and without a trace. You know, and the guy, so the one sitting behind death, he said, oh, D, you know, he called me by my name, you know. Oh, D, he cool, you know. D, hey, look, we know you ain't got no money, going home Christmas time. Guy, he pulled out a drawer, clapped on this. Now, this is real. I mean, seriously. Slapped on the table, $6,000. $6,000, it's yours. Oh, you got to tell us, you know. Give us a little something. Ain't got to give no name. I said, oh man. I said, look. Now I'm sweating, you know, because I'm knowing that these guys, you know, I mean, I got to get out this office. I got to get away from here, you know. And I'm saying, boy, they done waited right there this minute to really put this squeeze on me, you know. So I'm saying, man, I got to be wise. So I said, hey, you know what? Now everybody told me come in here and everything, you know, anything happen, you know, and y'all do something, they don't know that I done said something, whatever, you know. I said, when I get ready to leave, you know, I'll give you something. So the one behind, you know, standing up said, oh, you just talking that crap, you know. I said, hey, what else I'm going to do, you know. The one behind me said, all right, D, all right, we'll go for it. And I said, oh, out of good faith, why don't you give me 3? I said, oh, no. When we get the information, you get it, you know. But, you know, I wouldn't study that, you know. I really wanted to get out of there, but I really didn't think that I was going to make it out of there. But I did. December 1970, ended up back in Detroit, and believe me, when I first got there, I was actually devastated. You know, I was devastated. I mean, the level of consciousness of our people had been totally annihilated. Drugs had infiltrated the neighborhood. I mean, it was devastated.
Everything was
devastated. And it was like, I remember I ran into one of my partners, you know, and I was asking him, ran into him in the drug house. You know, I said, Butch, I said, man, what happened? I said, what's happening with the revolution? And, you know, he always liked to joke a bit, and he put it in the manner, he said, D, let me tell you, brother. He said, I was walking down the street, I saw some blood. I said, blood. He said, they ran across the street, and they whooped my behind and said, nigga, don't you ever ball up your fist at us again. You know, but he was just telling me in his manner, the spirit of what was taking place.
What's going on?
Right. And
what's going on? That's the song.
The split became total with the Panthers. I mean, the East Coast, West Coast, I mean, it was total disarray. 1970, 71, I mean, there wasn't even nothing else to talk about. I mean, Fred had been assassinated, and so that, I mean, so much had taken place, so that brother was after that. But the spirit, you know, the spirit of disunity, paranoid, everybody, you was just paranoid. But from that point on, was really marked, you know, was really marked. And anyone that had a radical, a militant kind of a spirit, that they thought you were marked.
Right.
You were seriously marked. Sky Keskiel hasn't gotten here yet, but we actually formed in the neighborhood a group known as, we called the Basics. And again, we were just doing something. Basic and Brotherhood Against Social Injustice Committee. And, we did little things like taking people and get shots or whatever, helping those people, go to the post office, get their checks, whatever. And we'll have meetings with the city hall officials, and we've been sitting with the people in the neighborhood, telling them your rights, so on and so forth, And we got radical one time, real radical. They had the city dump in Lower East Side of Detroit, by area those from Detroit, the Eastern Market. Had a great big dump right there by Wilkins Hill. That an open dump, and the whole city would dump their garbage right there. So we were telling people in the neighborhood, y'all don't have to do that, that should be covered, that's and that. And they never would do anything about it. So with me and Sky and another brother, what we did was we went down one night and we set it on fire. We had put up a great big sign across from it. That's what happened when the officials do not answer the call of the people. That's nuts, Man, the next day on the news, they had militant black men set the city trash dump on fire and caused all the rats to come and run into the neighborhood houses. Everybody was mad at us in the neighborhood. And that was the end of the Basics. We got basically wiped out. Then came to church, had a real close friend. Some of you may remember him. Brother made transition, Baruch, father of Kitchener, that real close, and years just before coming here, Baruch was a spirit that was always like, wanting to do something. I mean, and I loved him because he would whatever he said he was going to do, he would do it, And he had convinced me he had these plans for a First Federal Savings Bank in Detroit, At that time, it was the biggest bank in Detroit, He had convinced me he had the floor plan for it, and that, we could get it, And I was like, man, let's do it. And I wanted to go down in history being, robbing the biggest bank in Detroit, black men. And so every Shabbat morning we'd be sitting in his house, and we had little weapons and we'd be cleaning on. Say, how you little so-and-so? If anything happened, you got shooters. You got your another. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Say, all right, take another hit. And we never went nowhere, Hallelujah, But one day he told me, he said, I know some brothers, they talk just like you. And I was like, at that time, I was so disillusioned with everything, Right. Yep. I mean, I was like, man, I don't want to hear that crap, Right. Let me go rob somebody or something, He said, man, they talk just like you. And I said, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But then one day, Brooke told me, he said, man, I'm selling my house and I'm going to Africa. Again, I said, man, you don't know it. I said, yeah, okay, sure, He said, yeah, I'm going to Israel. I said, you just told me you're going to Africa. He said, yeah, Israel in Africa. I said, nigga, you out your mind. I said, somebody is really kind to you. The kind man, somebody kind to you. Convince you that Israel in Africa. He said, yeah. I said, okay, if you selling your house, I said, sell me your guns. He said, I ain't gonna sell you nothing. I'm gonna give them to you because you stay here, you don't need them. I mean, that's the truth. And that convinced me. I said, man, I got to go see these guys you talking to because they really got you going crazy, you know. And I just knew that some kind guys, you know, and I'm going there, I'm gonna blast, you know, because they talk my friend into something stupid, you know. And lo and behold, I walked right into it. Boy, I got hit broadside. Stand up, warrior. Truth.